Hello, my name is Brooklyn Bodice. I am in Mrs. Casper's 3rd period and Mr. Goodwin's 7th period. My major world religion project goes over prompt 2, which answers the question on what is our destiny. This project I decided to cover Hinduism, Shintoism, and Wicca. In this video, you're going to see me explain all 3 of those religions' views on the afterlife, and I'm going to be showing some pictures that I have decided to create on what I think those religions' afterlives would look like. So let's get started. What you're seeing here is just the cover page of the physical booklet that I've made. It's titled The Afterlife, What to Expect Based on Different Religions. There you can see Hinduism, Wicca, and Shintoism in little clouds, as well as the corresponding religious symbols up at the top of the page. Here on the first inside page of my booklet, I'm going to be covering Hinduism afterlife. Hindus believe that a person's Atman, their soul, is in a constant cycle of samsara, rebirth. Karma plays a crucial role in Hinduism rebirth, as the good deeds you've done in your past life contribute to the caste you were born into in your next life. Being born as a lower life form, such as an insect, means that you were not an immoral person in your last life. Being reborn as a human again means that your last life was one of morality and good deeds, but you were still not ready to ascend to Brahman, which is the supreme soul. One's ascension into Brahman is seen as the ultimate goal. It is said that when one's soul combines with the Brahman, it achieves full contentment. Before that, however, one's soul can go to different realms between being reborn. According to Hinduism, there are 7 upper worlds and 7 lower worlds. Most Atman will go to the region of Swa, where they can celebrate their good deeds before being reborn as a human. Those who are ready to become one with Brahman will go to the realm of Brahmaloka. For those who are evil in their last life, they are sent to the lowest realm, Patala, where they will spend what feels like an eternity paying for their evilness before being reborn as an insect. Just taking a closer look at the depiction that I created of the Hinduism afterlife, as you can see, I have 7 upper worlds and 7 lower worlds, all sort of doing a kind of gradient showing that their levels are decreasing. I have a line in the middle to separate them because the 7 upper worlds are typically seen as the better ones to be in, and the 7 lower worlds, as shown by being red, are not as favorable. Up at the top, you have Brahman, which, as that is seen as the ultimate goal, I showed it as being on the top. Before we continue on with my booklet and the other 3 religions' afterlives, I just quickly wanted to relate the hero's journey to Hinduism through the book The Ramayana. So this book's main figure, Rama, is an important figure in Hinduism, as he represents a reincarnation of their god Vishnu. In this book, Rama goes through a journey of family conflicts, love interests, as well as many mental and physical trials, making his story well-renowned and important in the Hindu faith. Rama's call to adventure was whenever his stepmother, Kaikeyi, had Rama's father banish him for 14 years so her son may become king instead of Rama. This was the beginning of all the trials he was soon to face alongside his brother, Lakshmana, who was Rama's loyal companion, as well as Rama's wife, Sita, who represents the goddess figure. Rama had earned his magic weapon early on in this story, before his call to adventure even arrived. His magic weapon is the bow of Vishnu, which he earned alongside Sita's hand in marriage, as picking up the bow and being able to string it was a test Sita's father had in order for someone to be able to marry his daughter. Later on in the story, when Rama is in the belly of the whale, Sita had been taken by the devil figure, Ravana, because he was infatuated with her. Many months pass before Rama is able to steal her back with the help of a tribe of monkeys, but in the end, all that was lost is restored. Alright, so moving back to discussing the afterlives, we're going on to Wicca. In Wicca, our physical bodies are only seen as a vessel for our soul. When we die, it is believed that our soul leaves our body and travels to a different realm that Wiccans call Summerland. Summerland is seen as a paradise created by the individual soul's desires, an eternal peaceful place. It is usually depicted as a summery island with rivers and blue skies. While the soul is in Summerland, it will go through 3 things. Those things are reunion with past loved ones, reflections on one's past lives, which is learning to better oneself from one's past mistakes, and then finally, reincarnation. The duration for a stay in Summerland depends on each soul and on how long each one wants to take to reflect on their past life before getting reborn again to try and perfect their soul. Once a soul is perfected, it joins eternal life with their gods. So here we have the depiction that I created for Summerland, the Wiccan afterlife. Since essentially Summerland is just an individual soul's desires, I tried to create a typical peaceful looking area. You know, the blue skies, which I know it's hard to see in this picture, it might come off a little bit more murky and gray, but on my booklet they're a light baby blue, as well as some mountains, a sunny sky, and a river, as well as just a little soul chilling out and having a good time. And finally, we made it to the Shintoism afterlife. Shintoism is a religion that primarily focuses on the life of those, not on the death. Death is typically seen as a negative thing. It is believed that when one dies, their physical energy, their kami, is released and goes to be recycled. Their kami being recycled is not the same thing as reincarnation, however. That is a person's essence, and it goes elsewhere. Yomi is the world of the undead, and it is seen as a gloomy place, but not one of suffering. This is just where a person's physical body, their essence, goes to decay. This is where Izanami was whenever she was visited by Izanagi in the Shinto creation story. The depiction I have here for the Shinto afterlife isn't really anything special, which sort of reflects the beliefs of the Shinto people. Afterlife isn't typically seen as something to be celebrated, and Yomi, their underworld, is just seen as a gloomy place where your body decays. And that's what I tried to show here, showing the different stages of decaying with skeletons. At first, you can see where the kami leaves the body, and that's essentially all there is to the Shinto afterlife. And here we've finally made it to the end of my booklet and the end of my presentation on the Hinduism, Wicca, and Shintoism afterlives. I am so sorry that this video has been so long, and I don't want to make it any longer, but hopefully this was a little bit enjoyable. Thank you.